As of 2023, the global luxury watch industry is at a market valuation of $46 billion. But also, fortunately, the luxury industry is also the cause of 10% of the total greenhouse gas emissions. That strikes a problem. Nowadays, we can not only look at what we produce, but also how we produce it. So let's look at our mandate. Our mandate here is to design a growth strategy that preserves Solios' environmental DNA, but also grows its visibility and revenue. So for that, I asked myself many questions. Questions like, what should Solios do to increase its reach and revenue? For that, I compared the industry valuations. Canada's industry valuation is at an all-time low of $0.71 billion, compared to the UK or even the US, that's at $11.1 billion. So we can conclude that maybe we have more potential outside of Canada. Also, questions like, how can Solios scale that visibility, but also maintaining the B Score certification standards? For that, I realized that we have a heavy reliance on air shipping that penalizes that same B Score. Thus comes our strategy. For our strategy, I compared the three strategies that we had in our mandate to three key criterias for Solios. We have profitability, feasibility, and sustainability. Here, the strategy that stands out the most is our hybrid strategy that does great in profitability and sustainability and just lacks a bit in feasibility, but that could be fixed with great organization. So I present to you the hybrid growth model. We will expand only to the US to enter the $11.1 billion industry, but also start some local production where we'll assemble watches in Montreal using our hydroelectric power. So let me justify myself. Here we see that the US market opportunity is very high. 80% of US consumers are willing to pay more for sustainable goods, and when they are the same price, more than 71% will pick the sustainable version. Also, the demand is rising for ethical luxury in general. Here we can see in 2023 we're at $10.21 billion in valuation, and it's estimated to go all the way up to $14.95 in 2030. Now for our expansion strategy, we will continue our targeted digital campaign, putting the emphasis on our solar technology, but also open our first flagship boutique in a key eco-conscious city in the US, being Portland, Oregon. We know that return on investment is really high on flagship boutiques. We can take Warby Parker, for example, who did 160 plus B Corp certified stores, and in his testimony, the ROI is very high. So I recommend we take a flagship boutique in Portland, Oregon, but also as an example, more specifically, the Pythian building in 1918 St. William Street that costs $1,578 per month and has great traffic, great placement, and great luxurious looks. For our supply chain sustainability, we will start a local production by avoiding these overseas freight emissions. It will lower our emissions from 4.4 tons of CO2 to 1 ton of CO2. That's the cause because Quebec's energy is so clean. It's 35 to 50 times cleaner than US and China's power, thanks to Hydro-Québec. We'll also start a local assembly that will help us ensure more control. It will help us also lower our carbon and have us great labor quality. The impacts we foresee is great sales growth. If we enter only 0.1% of the market share of the US, we have an estimated annual revenue of $11 million. We have a projected of 70% less emissions because of our enhancements in logistics, and 20 to 50 jobs in skilled labor that we could create that could help our B score in workers and community. For our qualitative impacts, we will have brand loyalty. For US consumers that seek that sustainable or premium products will tend to go more towards Solios. Differentiation, because Solios will be one of the only brands that can balance growth and ethics. And of course, in our B Corp recertification, we can sustain or even raise our score beyond 89.5. We have an estimated 5 to 10 points in improved categories like environment, workers, and community. So in conclusion, we're a hybrid growth model. We can ensure to go and take advantage of high industry valuations like the US to increase our revenue, but also do a lot of initiatives for the environment to show everybody, to show the consumers that Solios is here to do its part to lower the 10% of the total greenhouse emissions by the luxury industry, and show that we are here to take part into saving our environment. Thank you so much.